Hey y'all, this is Jeff from Jeff's Vegetable Garden and Containers. Been a while since I've been on. Uh, got a late start on the gardening, as I told you in the last video this year, but we're about 3.5 weeks into it. You can see how good these tomatoes are doing here. They're all up to roughly about 3.5, 4 foot. Uh, basically don't want to stay. I'm without my microphone right now, so I apologize for that, but don't know what I do with it. But you see all these tomatoes are doing good. What I'll do is I have a video here coming up this week where these tomatoes, you have to take like the bottom third of them off, cut all the branches off and all the stems and keep them out of the water and the wet areas. That'll make them produce better and keep them from getting any diseases or anything on them. Plus I have to do a vinegar and it's vinegar, dish soap, cinnamon, and oh geez, I'm trying to think of the other part. Cinnamon, oh, and garlic powder mixture, and I'll tell you about that I got to spray on everything this week. So I'm starting to get stink bugs and a couple of bugs out here because it's getting hotter. You can see the tomatoes, they weren't, that is just out of the buckets before. Let me get on the other side here. These were just barely out of the buckets last time I showed you. In 3 weeks, you see they're all the way to the top of the trellises. And there's cucumbers all over, but you can see starting to get a little bit of nastiness on some of the bottom of them. So I have to get that taken care of with that bug spray. See, the lettuce is doing good. It's all going to die in this hot weather if I don't get out here and eat it soon. Other tomatoes are doing good. I got to trim them up. Eggplant, that's a Japanese style eggplant, doing good. This is another eggplant over here. Between the rain and I, we had just watered, and I got to put a basket around it. See how it's losing this thing after I watered it, so I'll put a basket around it, keep it stable as it grows up. I picked a couple beans off the bean plant here today. I can see the asparagus growing in there. It's just going crazy. Look at the size of that corn from where it was just 2 weeks ago. I put that in. That's already 4 foot tall, so it's kind of amazing to see the sweet potatoes from just the seedlings I put in there. Also about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and excuse me, and it's they're going crazy, but that's, like I said, 4.5, 5 month project. Potatoes are starting to come up in some of these other buckets. That's plain potatoes. Those purple potatoes are starting to come up. The other potatoes in that bucket right back there. And this bucket here coming up. Asparagus is doing okay there. You can see the corn's doing real good here. The peppers are doing good here. Sorry about that. This is butternut squash is looking real good. It's starting to come in right down in there. That's cantaloupe. That'll take a little while. Strawberries are looking good in that black pot. That is purple basil. We're starting to get chewed up a little bit by some bugs and critters, but not as bad now. But like I said, I'll get out here this week. Just a little bit of a pick I had today. The yellow squash, striped zucchini, and some peppers and a couple green beans. But that's really the first thing I picked this year. And like I said, I got started so late doing everything because I was down in Florida and doing things. So we'll see how it goes. You can see there's more yellow squash growing all over this one here. One of these is straight neck squash, and one of these is crooked neck. That one there's straight, I know, because I pulled one off of there today. But you can see there's one growing right on in there. There's a couple growing on there, actually. Oops, sorry about the leaves. These are growing real good here, too. So everything's looking pretty daggone good. Peppers are coming up here real good in the buckets. Like I said, I got to get a cage on that eggplant there. But you can just see how those cucumbers are going right up the trellis and just taking off. I took a smaller one off there. I guess the size normal people would take off there, but took it off today. There's a lot more growing. You can see the longer English style cucumbers growing right there. I'm caught on the fence. See it right there? So they get pretty big and long, so I gotta keep an eye on them. But I gotta, like I said, gotta get the treatment done here before. See the cucumbers growing on there. So I gotta get this treatment done on here before it gets too far. It's hot, blustered out, the weather, but I want to get it done before it gets too far into the plants and everything, and get the leaves and try to keep the bugs off them as much as I can. The peppers I did this year, I did a lot of peppers in containers there, but I did these peppers in the ground this year back here. I water them. That one's doing okay. That one's doing. 3 of them look good, but 3 of them look they're struggling a little bit. This green banana pepper is doing real good. I pulled a couple off there. The jalapeno is doing okay, and then that jalapeno type is doing good. A couple of them are struggling. I fertilized first thing, then I threw some bone meal on them, and they seem to come back out a little bit better with the bone meal. I bought all the stuff for automatic watering, but I haven't put it on yet. Just been too busy with the yard and the weather. So I got to get that on hopefully this week, but I don't think it's from a shortage of moisture or even the heat. I just think I just did so good in containers, but I tried a couple things in the ground. We'll see how they do this year. I just seeded these maybe last week, and they're patty pans are a form of squash. They kind of look like a circular squash. They kind of look like a pumpkin, but they're green, yellow, and white. And so I got to see how they make out. You see the flowers. I had it. This eggplant was kind of hurting pretty bad. You can see the purple flower coming back out on it now. So I kind of got that treated, and it seems like that one's coming back now. This is another type of squash here, and I think this is a crooked neck. But these have, even though on the ground and there's no kind of bugs or nothing in them, they've just struggled a little bit, which I'm kind of weird because I had watermelon on this place last year and pulled underneath the covers, moved the old dirt out of the way, put fresh dirt in there this year, and did everything I normally do, and it just, like I said, I've always had better success in containers, but I'm trying this year. But this one here, this zucchini, is just going everywhere. It's just getting bigger and bigger, and I do see a couple developing down there, but sometimes that don't matter. Sometimes I've seen them develop like this in buckets, and you only get a few. So just kind of see how it goes. And this watermelon's starting to finally break free here. It was smaller. It's probably about a 1.5 foot, 2 foot wide. But you know, that's the garden now. Like I said, I was out here, had that little bit of a harvest, and like I said, I'm only doing these two gardens, which the garden is probably now. Let me think, 20, 30, roughly 40 by 20. And like I said, there's another one over there, whatever it is, 40 by 22 or 40 by 15. But I got rid of it because I'm doing stuff in both areas now. So we're just going to keep an eye on everything. It looks like the progress is where we want it at now, and we're just going to keep plugging along. And like I said, after I get done the treatment this week, I'm going to get the... See, it looks like it's going to rain. It already rained on me once out here. The next couple days they're calling for it, so I don't want to put all that treatment on and have it all washed off. So I'll have to see how I can do, but I do have to get out here and get the lower squash leaves and trunks cut off, and anything bad on the cucumbers. And I got to get the tomatoes, like I said, all trimmed off the ground, and that'll make them just go crazy too. So not too worried about the peppers and tomatoes. Not sure about these in the ground ones, the way they're acting now, but they could change. But peppers and tomatoes normally don't start coming in until mid-July. You know, a lot of them mid-July, end of July. So I knew they'd be behind in the early stuff I wanted to do this year, except for, the potatoes they put in, they take months. Besides the lettuce, everything else I didn't do too early this year, like cauliflower, broccoli, because that season was already past. And if I started it now, I could get it to go, but I don't know how good of a product I'd get out of it. So I've always done better with the early spring, early summer product with that stuff. And this year I don't have that stuff to show like I normally do. So this will be a mid-July to after garden to start really showing its harvesting where we are with everything. But you can see productivity-wise, it's starting to come a little bit of a jungle out here, and we'll just have to keep an eye on her. And like I said, probably next time I'll come back and do a tutorial on these tomatoes to show you what you got to do. So you can keep them from out of the ground, keep them getting infested, and the peppers and everything. And then once that's done, then it'll just be a matter of fertilizing every 2 weeks with one of my fertilizing things, keeping up with the pest spray every other 2 or 3 weeks. And then just keeping it watered and keeping it going. So we'll see how it goes from there. Right now, everything's looking really good, and we've had some real extreme weather here. All right, guys, have a great 4th of July next weekend, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks, and don't forget to go out and like and subscribe, and go out to our other sites and check things out. Thanks, guys.